You good-for-nothing wife. I see no value in being with you anymore. If you have complaints, let's divorce.
The man shouting and turning red in the face in front of me was none other than my husband. How did I end up marrying a man like this? I had been thinking that we would support each other as a family of two from now on. But then suddenly, I'll live with Dad. What? That was the reality my daughter abruptly thrust upon me. But my daughter had a secret plan. My name is Mary, and I'm 42 years old. I've been married to Johnson for almost 20 years. We're a family of three, living with our high school freshman daughter, Mina. My husband has always been consumed by his work, so we never really went out together as a family when Mina was little. I loved my job and wanted to get back to work as soon as I put Mina in preschool, but my husband commanded me otherwise.
You're a wife and a mother. Just take care of the house. Don't even think about working. It's ridiculous.
He takes care of the living expenses, so we don't struggle financially. But neither my daughter nor I want this kind of life. We want to go out together more as a family, spend time together, just the three of us. That's what we desire. But when I tell my husband that, he dismisses it as
stupid, a waste of time. Unlike you two, I'm busy with work every day.
And treats my daughter and me as if we were in the way. My daughter seemed to sense, even at a young age, that her father was rejecting family time. After a while, the time she spent talking to him decreased dramatically. On the other hand, my daughter and I got along like sisters. We would go shopping together, go to the movies on weekends. As she grew, she started helping with housework, and I could enjoy some free time for myself. My husband was relatively quiet. As long as my daughter and I didn't talk to him, he ate his meals without complaining. My daughter and I had grown accustomed to this lifestyle. But then one day, my husband started complaining about me.
Hey, I've been thinking about this for a while, but what is this mess you call food?
I didn't change the seasoning or anything.
I know that. Every single day you serve this disgusting food. Who do you think pays for the ingredients? Huh? Can't you even handle household chores properly as a homemaker?
This is how he would yell, making unreasonable complaints. I had never been told that my cooking was delicious, but I had never been attacked with such harsh words before.
The seasoning is too bland. Are you treating me like an old man? Who do you think supports our lifestyle?
That's because, as his arrogance escalated, our daughter, who was eating with us, suddenly spoke. Hey, Dad, can you not yell in the morning? It's hurting my head. And if you think the taste is bland, why don't you add your own seasoning? You're not a child. My daughter's blunt response made the husband falter for a moment. He seemed unsure how to react with her since he had never really faced her properly. Usually he'd get nervous every time she said something to him. Hey, are you listening, Dad? It's true that we live on your money, but who do you think cooks for you? Who lets you eat every day? Who washes your clothes so that you can wear a clean shirt every day?
That is...
The husband, challenged by his daughter, struggled to find the words to reply. Then he turned his anger towards me instead.
Hey, it's your bad parenting that's made Mina such a bratty kid. How are you going to take responsibility?
What? Calling your own daughter a brat?
It's true. Mina will probably turn out just like you. No good as an adult.
The husband sneered, looking triumphant. I couldn't bear him ridiculing not only me but our precious daughter as well. Enough! How can you say something like that to your own daughter? You're the worst! Raising my voice, the husband looked at me with scorn and retorted,
You're a useless wife. I don't see the point of being with you. If you have complaints, let's get a divorce.
A divorce? Why would you say that all of a sudden?
What? Are you afraid of getting divorced? Well, I guess that makes sense for an unemployed homemaker like you. Living on your own would be impossible.
With that, the husband began to laugh loudly. As he said, I had been a homemaker for so long that I didn't have much savings. Raising our daughter alone after the divorce would undoubtedly be challenging. But living with this man any longer, I absolutely couldn't endure it. While I was agonizing over this, our daughter spoke up again. Mom, it's okay. You don't have to stay married to Dad if it's too hard. I support the divorce. At her words, I felt a sudden lightness in my heart. My biggest worry about the divorce was my daughter, but she was saying this to me. There might be struggles ahead, but as long as I was with my beloved daughter, I made up my mind and agreed to my husband's demand for a divorce. All right, let's get divorced. With that, my husband, as if he had been waiting for this moment, pulled a filled out.
Come on, sign this. I'll give you the moving expenses as a parting gift.
You're quite prepared, aren't you?
Of course I am. You've wanted to divorce me for a long time now. I even started complaining about everything and you didn't notice. You hold on too much, you know.
So that was it. My husband had been deliberately complaining to get a divorce quickly. He must have hated me so much. With that thought, I no longer cared about anything. I signed the divorce paper as he instructed, and he handed me the money.
Make the most of that money.
I felt like losing if I accepted it, but I could see that I would need the money. Without a word, I took the envelope and put it in my pocket. Once I decided on the divorce, it felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. So I decided to leave with my daughter right away. Come on, Mina, let's get ready. For now, we'll go to my parents' house until we find a new place, I began to say. I'm not moving. I'm staying with Dad, okay? What? What did you just say? Not moving? Staying with her father? I was utterly flustered by my daughter's words. Wait a minute, Mina. What do you mean? You were going to live with me. But I'm a high school student. I don't want to transfer schools now. Moving is a hassle, you know. Then Mom will find a house near your high school. I said it's fine. I'm used to living in this house, and I've decided to live efficiently. My daughter looked lively and not at all anxious. Seeing her like that, I felt incredibly sad. Was I the only one who thought we were close? The reaction from my daughter was more shocking than being confronted with divorce by my husband. But it wasn't just me who was taken aback. My husband was also confused.
Don't joke. Normally a daughter lives with the mother. Get out with her.
Stop it. I said no. That's why I'm saying I'll live with Dad.
I don't care about that. You were close with Mary, weren't you? Why then?
But I told you, moving is a hassle and living with Dad is more convenient if I think about efficiency. My daughter explained with ease, but my husband was not convinced. He kept yelling,
Get out with Mary!
But my daughter stubbornly shook her head. She continued to speak. Mom, I'll help you pack. It'll be faster if we do it together. Saying that, she began to gather my belongings in my room. I can't understand her intentions at all. What is Mina thinking? I was in a state of confusion. Maybe I was the only one who thought we were close like sisters, and she never liked me from the beginning. I started to think pessimistic thoughts, and tears welled up in my eyes. As I looked down to hide my face, my daughter spoke cheerfully. You'll be okay, Mom. Just bear it a little longer. Huh? I froze for a moment, not understanding. But that confusion was cleared when my daughter explained a certain plan. That that's the way it is. So, Mom, hang in there by yourself.
All right, I get it,
I said, energized now that I had my daughter as a co-conspirator. I won't let my husband have his way with me. I will have my revenge. With revenge in my heart, I packed my things and left our home. I then went back to my parents' house, and a month later, I was able to rent an apartment. Once I told my daughter the new address, she started coming over after school. According to her, the plan is going smoothly. It should happen soon, she told me, 3 months after I had divorced my husband. Sure enough, one day, my husband called. Hello?
Mary, please help me,
he pleaded, his voice breaking. I pretended not to know what he was talking about and asked him, Help you? What on earth happened?
Mina treats me like a housemaid every day. I can't take it anymore.
It was exactly as I had heard. Since I left, my daughter had been forcing all the housework on him.
I have work, and yet she tells me to make proper meals and do the laundry every day. Even the cooking, it's too salty, or it's unthinkable to serve such terrible food to my daughter. I'm really at the end of my tether.
It seems my daughter is hurling back at him all the unfair things he said to me. What goes around comes around. Unaware, he turned to me for help.
Please take Mina back. I'll go crazy if things keep going like this.
Honestly, I would have no problem taking Mina. But if I agreed now, it would ruin the strategy my daughter worked so hard on. So I told my husband, Why don't you talk to Mina about that? It's her choice to live with you. If you really want her to leave, why not negotiate with her? I hung up, firm in my decision. This is the right thing to do. I'll just ignore my personal feelings for now and follow my daughter's plan faithfully. A week later, my daughter Mina moved into my apartment with a large sum of money. We did it, Mom! Our plan was a huge success! Indeed. It's all thanks to you, Mina. Yes, my daughter never intended to live apart from me. She had planned to make her father realize the hardship of housework and the efforts of a mother, and then make him understand what he had done. When he finally cracked and begged her to leave, she had him agree to pay her a lump sum for child support until she became an adult. That was my daughter's plan. Mina received $50,000 all at once from her husband, calculated at $1,000 per month until she reaches adulthood. And that's how she happily moved into my apartment. I must say, it's a terrifyingly clever plan that my daughter conceived, but the fact remains that her plan has relieved me of financial worries. As if that wasn't enough, my daughter brought even more valuable information. And Mom, here's this. What? She handed me a voice recorder. Just listen to it. Urged by my daughter, I played the voice recorder, and there was the sound of my husband talking to someone else on the phone.
Oh, the divorce is all settled. But there's my daughter. No worries, I'll make sure she moves out. Millie, my daughter finally agreed to leave. Now I can live with Millie. Ah, yes, I love you too.
It was undoubtedly the voice of my husband, talking to his mistress. Furthermore, the daughter showed me a picture of her father with an unknown woman. What is this? Mina, what's up with this picture? While you had Dad doing housework, I searched through his mobile phone. Oh, I saved the text messages with his mistress too. Want to see them? The daughter gleefully kept showing evidence of her father's infidelity. Terrifying, but thanks to the evidence gathered by my daughter, I was able to claim compensation from my husband in the divorce proceedings. After contacting the lawyer to claim the compensation, the husband called.
Hey, what's this about compensation in the divorce proceedings now? We're already divorced. It doesn't matter who I'm involved with now, does it?
Then the daughter snatched the mobile phone from me and responded, "You know, Dad, aren't you supposed to be an adult? Did you know that if infidelity is discovered within 3 years, you can still claim compensation in a divorce proceeding even after the divorce?"
What?
The husband was speechless on the other end, not knowing this fact. He had fallen into his daughter's trap. I ignored the ranting husband and blocked his calls, leaving the rest to the lawyer. Eventually, my ex-husband and his mistress had to pay me a lump sum for the divorce settlement. He remarried the mistress, but she seems to spend money like crazy. She used up all his earnings and maxed out his credit cards, leaving him in debt. The fact that his reason for divorce was infidelity spread quickly at his workplace, and he seems to be looked down on by his colleagues.
He was cheating even though he has a high school daughter.
He was always playing the good husband at the office, huh?
The rumor reached the higher-ups, and my newly promoted husband was demoted back to an ordinary employee. His salary dropped, and he's being berated every day by his spendthrift new wife. I even started to feel a little sorry for him at this point. As for me, I'm living happily with my daughter. I've saved all the alimony from my ex-husband for my daughter's college fund, and I'm supporting our life with a part-time job. We're not wealthy by any means, but my daughter doesn't complain, and we have lively days together. I'm really thankful for having her. Together, we can overcome any difficulties in the future. I felt truly grateful for this happiness.